In this lecture, we'll talk about using GoalSeek. GoalSeek starts on page 303 of our text. Now, if you're using an Excel formula and it gives you an answer that you'd rather not have, you can turn to a feature called GoalSeek. In fact, we're on a sheet called GoalSeek in the Best Hospital Workbook. Now, there's a formula here in cell J4. It's using the payment function. It calculates the monthly payback on a loan. In this scenario here, we're looking at a rate of 3.5% with a payoff of over 60 months, and we're borrowing $24,000. What will we pay each month? The payment formula takes the rate, divides it by 12, the term, and then the principal. If you want to see your answer as a positive number, you put a minus sign in front of it. Otherwise, it'll appear as a negative. So, let's say, for example, we're paying $437 a month, and we want our payment, we can afford to pay $500 a month. So, what we do is from the home ribbon, we simply go to our data tab and select our what if analysis and our GoalSeek. We get our dialog box. So what if we change cell J4 to a value of $500 by changing our principal? So we get our answer, $27,485. Now, that's saying that we keep the rate and the term the same, but hey, we can borrow more money. If we want to keep this, we'll click OK. If not, we'll just go ahead and cancel it. So what I'll do is I'll cancel it here in this case. And let's say another scenario. Say that we want to shorten our term from the 60 months to something, a little bit more reasonable. So what we'll do is we go back up here to our GoalSeek command. And we'll change the value of J4 to $500. By changing, we click here and point to the cell for our term, say OK. Oh, so we can pay it back in 52 months. $24,000 with a payment of $500 per month. So that's pretty good. Let's look at another scenario here. I'll say OK. And let's say that we're a student in this class and we have our averages for the tests we've taken thus far. I click in here, you'll see it's the average of all of the cells above. We haven't taken test 7. We want to guarantee ourselves that we get an A on the exam. So let's go ahead and see what we have to get on test number 7. So using our GoalSeek command again, we'll go up to the data tab, what if analysis, GoalSeek. And what if we change this cell, I4, to a value of, let's say, maybe an A is 90 and above, and we want to guarantee ourselves that we get an A. So let's say that we're going to get a 90 on this test. So we go 90 by changing the value that we have here. We'll say OK. Notice it takes a while to calculate our average. Wow. If we get 102 on the final test, well, that's not going to work. So, well, if we go back again, we're going to cancel this out. Because the test is only worth 100 points, so there's no way we can get 102. So we'll do our what if analysis again, our GoalSeek. And let's say I'm going to get something more realistic. So, well, let's say I'm going to get something like a 89.5 on the test. So I'm going to say to a value of 89.5 by changing the value for test 7. I'll say OK. Notice it calculates. Hey, my average, I have to at least get a 98.5 or better to guarantee myself an A. Good enough. So let's keep this and I'll click OK. Now we're going to look at a more realistic business situation. As you notice, here over in column C, those are the salaries. Notice everyone gets a 2.71% increase. So what we've done, we've taken the salaries, multiplied them by that, and round up to the new salary. If you notice at the bottom of my screen here in the status bar, I get the sum of column C. That's $61,122,344. So say I've had a conversation with my chief financial officer in the organization, and based on our sales and projections, he's determined that we can afford to spend more than these salaries. We've just not, so, he says that we have the opportunity to spend $62 million. Well, we could start by guessing or changing their percentage, but I don't really want to take the time out and guess. I'm just going to cut through the chase. And I'm going to go back up to my data tab in my what if analysis and do some, use the goal seek and see what percentage I need to increase to get a spend of $62,000. So what I'm going to do here in cell E1, so here in cell E3, I'm going to go up to my formulas tab and I'm going to auto sum column C, and I get my $61,122,344. Now, as I said earlier, our CFO says that we have a spend of $62 million. So basically, I want to see what my percentage should be with a spend of $62 million. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back up. I'm going to go to my data tab here on the ribbon and my what if analysis, goal seek, and what if, I'll bring this over, our dialog box, I change cell E3 to a value of 62 million by changing my percentage. So watch real closely as I hit OK. The new salaries are going to recalculate, and I get a percentage of 4.18%. Pretty good, pretty close. So we've adjusted all of our entries in column C to get that total. That's just about what we want it to be, using the feature called Goal Seek, found in What If Analysis on our data tab.